Okay, so on to this question now, and a bit like on the previous video where we saw if you have more than two brackets, you begin by expanding the first two. So in this question, you want to expand the first two brackets and then multiply it by the last bracket at the end. Let's do that. So we begin by doing, first of all, p times by 2p, which gives you 2p squared. P times by negative 1 is minus p. You then got 4 times by 2p, which is plus 8p, and 4 times by negative 1, which is minus 4. And you now simplify this expression over here. You've got minus p plus 8p. Well, minus 1 plus 8 is positive 7. 8 take away 1 is plus 7. So you go to 2p squared plus 7p, take away 4. You've expanded the first two brackets. This is what you've got. You then multiply it with the p minus 7 down here. And you just work through like we did in the previous video. Okay, so we take the first term, 2p squared. We times this by 1p, which will give you 2p and then cubed. P squared times by p is p cubed. You've then got 2p squared times by negative 7, which is minus 14p squared. You then go on to your second term, plus 7p, and we go and do plus 7p times by p, which is 7p squared. You've then got plus 7p times by minus 7, which is minus 49p. You then go on to your minus 4, and you do minus 4 times by p, which is minus 4p, and then minus 4 times by minus 7 gives you positive 28 on the end. And we just collect up the like terms like before. So we've got, in the middle, we've got minus 14p squared plus 7p squared, and we've also got minus 49p minus 4p. Okay, we're just collecting up our like terms now. We are simplifying, which will leave us with 2p cubed minus 14p squared plus 7p squared, or minus 14 plus 7 is minus 7, and the p squared is there. Okay, minus 7p squared. We then got minus 49p minus 4p is minus 53p, and you've got the plus 28 on the end, and this here is your answer. Okay, there we go. In fact, that's a little bit much. There's your answer. Okay, so you can now try the one on the your turn, expand those brackets and simplify it, and I will now go through that question. So hopefully you've given that one a go, and we can now check your answer. Again, we begin by expanding the first two brackets like before. So we look at the first two, and we go and do 2k times by k, which is 2k squared, 2k times by negative 3, which is minus 6k. Done. On to the plus 1 times by k, which is plus k, and plus 1 times by minus 3, which is minus 3. Good, and then of course we can go and do, well, minus 6k plus 1k is minus 5k, so 2k squared minus 5k minus 3 on the end. So the first two brackets expanded gives you this here, and you're multiplying by the final 2 plus k. 2 plus k. Now notice actually, what I didn't really mention was, it doesn't matter which two brackets you choose first. Because multiplication is commutative, you could have done the positive ones first. You could have done 2k plus 1 times 2 plus k, and then times it by k minus 3. It makes no difference, because multiplication, the order in which you times things, doesn't matter. Okay, just so you're aware of that. Now on to this one. So we go on to each of our terms. We go and do 2k squared times by 2, which is 4k squared. 2k squared times by positive k is plus 2k cubed. Minus 5k times by 2 is minus 10k. We've got minus 5k times by plus k is minus 5k squared. We then got minus 3 times by plus 2 is minus 6. And we've got minus 3 times by plus k is minus 3k. Now notice the order of our numbers and variables is a bit different to last time. It's because we've got 2 plus k. Now actually I could have written this as k plus 2. It really makes no difference, okay, but it's just something to be aware of. And then a bit like before, we can collect up our like terms. Okay, so we've got a 4k squared and a minus 5k squared. And we've also got a minus 10k and a minus 3k. Okay, and we write things. I'm going to write it with the biggest power first, which is the plus 2k cubed. So overall, we're going to go to 2k cubed. This one's done. I've then got 4k squared minus 5k squared. Well, 4 take away 5 is minus 1. So minus 1 or minus k squared. I've done this one and this one. I've then got minus 10k minus 3k, which is minus 13k. And I've got the minus 6 left over on the end. And this is my answer for this one. Okay? And it's neat, notice how I've written it with the powers going from biggest to smallest. Okay, so 3, 2, 1, and then k to 0. So it's going in descending order, which is kind of convention. Anyway, if you got that answer, well done. Good stuff. You're now ready for the next question, which will be this on the next video. Thank you.